HBO Max just launched, and with a whole new streaming service to work with, it can be easy to wonder, where the hell do you even start? Well, if you're looking for some good horror to stream, don't worry, I have got you covered. Consider this video your guide to the best horror films currently on HBO Max. Let's kick things off with a bang, because the entire Jaws franchise is on the streaming service. Jaws, the original blockbuster, the perfect summer horror film, the perfect creature feature. I mean, it's just the perfect film in general. I know a lot of people don't care for the sequels in this franchise, but I love Jaws 2, and you know, Jaws 3 and 4 are there if you really want to go down that rabbit hole. Alien, another classic franchise. Alien needs no introduction, but I will say that the original is one of my top 5 favorite films of all time. And who doesn't love Aliens? I love this entire franchise. I think Alien 3 is fine, and Alien Resurrection might be awful, but I happen to like it. It might be the 90s baby nostalgia vision, but it's the one I grew up with, so I give it a pass. I mean, they even have Alien vs. Predator, but I don't stoop that low. Child's Play 2 and 3. The second and third installments in the Chucky franchise are available. Child's Play 2 is regarded as one of the more favorable sequels amongst horror fans, and I know that Child's Play 3 does not have the same reputation, but it is the first Chucky movie that I saw and had me worried there was going to be some little ginger doll crawling up from the bottom of my toilet. I mean, at the end of this movie, you've got Chucky stalking a kid in a fun house. Nope, not for me. Speaking of horror icons, the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is available. Now that's what I'm talking about. We got Dream Warriors, New Nightmare, even that universally hated remake. It is all there for your streaming pleasure. But wait! That's not all, because we also have Jason movies. Not the original 8 Friday the 13th films, you gotta go to Amazon Prime for those, but HBO Max does have Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and the Friday the 13th remake that I will defend no matter how basic it is. Plus, of course, Freddy vs. Jason. Yep, HBO Max is doing us horror fans right, and we're just getting started. Gremlins, the classic 80s creature feature for kids that helped get us the PG-13 rating, is one of my personal favorite Christmas movies. Plus, they have the sequel, The New Batch. The Conjuring 2. Why not The Conjuring 1? Well, that's over on Hulu, but this is one of those weird things with HBO Max. It's like they have It Chapter 2, but not It Chapter 1. It's like, come on, that's Warner Brothers. What are you doing here, folks? But whatever. The Conjuring 2 is much better than most of the other Conjuring universe garbage that they have on there, but I would say that it's a surprisingly worthwhile sequel. How about a double dose of David Cronenberg body horror, because we also have The Brood and Scanners. The Brood is a very 70s thriller about a mother with some disturbed children, I will say, keeping it vague, and Scanners is a sci-fi thriller about people with psychic abilities. You are probably familiar with this scene, but you should see the entire film. House on Haunted Hill, this remake from 1999 follows a group of people attending a party at an old mental facility in an attempt to win $1 million, but of course, it all goes to hell. This movie scared the living shit out of me as a kid. You might think it's cheesy, looking back on it now, it might not be the scariest, but you know what? They got me. I mean, that part with Sonya Blade creeping through the basement, seeing all the ghosts? I don't think so. Speaking of movies from 1999 that I love, Deep Blue Sea is one of my all-time favorite guilty pleasures. So much so that I don't even call it a guilty pleasure. I just love it. This one follows researchers in an underwater facility who are attacked by super smart sharks and picked off one by one, like we're back at Camp Crystal Lake. Piranha. Can you tell I like creature features? Yeah, HBO Max seems to have all of them. This Jaws ripoff follows a school of piranha who are released into a river and terrorize the wilderness residents. If Jaws is Halloween, then Piranha is Friday the 13th, because it takes the formula and has a whole lot of fun with it. Freaks. Now this is where things get really interesting, because Freaks is a controversial classic from the 1930s. It is hard to find even on physical media. I just love that this is available on now a commonly known streaming service, because this is the type of movie that many people just haven't had the opportunity to see, and now it's right there on HBO Max, so watch Freaks. Also, they have a couple other movies like this that I just thought was interesting. They have Hoxton and Vampire. Not sure if I'm actually pronouncing either of those right, but those are other underseen horror films from way back in the day that I haven't even seen because I haven't had the chance to. But now that they're on HBO Max, well, guess what I'm watching? Ready or Not is a horror comedy from last year starring Samara Weaving. I think of it as more of just a dark comedy, but it is a very entertaining flick in case you missed it. Unfriended is a cyber thriller that follows a group of teens terrorized over a video chat. This Screen Life entry won't be for everyone, but in my opinion, it is a very fun supernatural slasher. Crimson Peak is Guillermo del Toro's big-budget gothic romance about a young woman who discovers sinister secrets at her new husband's estate. This movie has a small fan base, which is a bummer to me. If you managed to skip this one, I would recommend giving it a shot, but go in expecting more of a romance than a ghost movie. Night of the Living Dead. How could I not mention this masterpiece? This must be familiar to you, but it's another perfect classic to add to the list. Shutter Island. Okay, genre police, I know you're gonna be out there saying, "This is a thriller." And it's also amazing. Shutter Island stars Leonardo DiCaprio as a police investigator sent to a mental facility on a secluded island to find a missing patient, only nothing is as it seems. The Others is a supernatural thriller starring Nicole Kidman as a mother living in a haunted house with her 2 children. Feel free to disagree with me, but I think The Others is one of the scariest films of all time. Signs. Sure, it's maybe more of a sci-fi drama, but this is one of the first movies that made me enjoy being scared and got me into the horror genre. Teeth is a coming-of-age horror about a teen girl who discovers that she has a set of protective teeth down in her nether region. This was a controversial hit back when I was a teenager, which might be why I have a connection to it, but I still think that this is a darkly fun indie gem. The Hitcher. This 80s thriller follows a young man traveling cross-country when he decides to pick up a maniac who begins terrorizing our protagonist on the road. This is another perfect summer horror recommendation, and it's basically why hitchhiking isn't a thing anymore. Eyes Without a Face. Another horror classic now easily available. I'm gonna keep this vague, don't even read the blurb. If you're gonna watch this movie, go into it blind. You'll have the best experience that way. But just know it is about a surgeon trying to save his disfigured daughter. Carnival of Souls. This is a classic that has been available on Amazon Prime, but I want to mention it here because I think this movie is fantastic and totally underseen. It acts as like an extended episode of The Twilight Zone, but as a movie, and I love it for that. I know pretty much no one under the age of 25 will appreciate this movie because it's, you know, slow and nothing happens and it has the type of ending that we've all grown to hate. But I think Carnival of Souls does all of those things exceptionally well. How about a whole bunch of kaiju action? Because HBO Max also has the original King Kong and Godzilla movies, plus a whole bunch of Godzilla versus movies, like Mothra vs. Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, so many good things. These are pure, cheesy comfort viewing for me and other kaiju-loving fans, but I think that these movies offer some entertaining insight into what Warner Brothers has plans for their MonsterVerse. Oh yeah, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, also on there. I know it's stupid, but it's fun. Also Scooby-Doo, because why not? That is my guide to the best horror films currently on HBO Max. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hit the comments and let me know if you're planning on signing up for HBO Max and what you're planning on watching if you do. Thanks again for watching this video. Greatly appreciate it. Feel free to like, share this with your friends, subscribe to Watch This Now. I make videos as often as possible. I cover all things entertainment, TV, movies, streaming, whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about. And that's it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.